Hey there, folks. Welcome to another deep dive into the fascinating world of finance. Tonight, we're diving into the wild world of global finance. Specifically, the US dollar, the currency that has ruled the financial seas for decades. That green piece of paper we all know and some of us love, it's more than just money. It's a symbol of economic power and stability. For decades, it's been the big kahuna, the top dog, the Beyoncé of currencies, the world's reserve currency. But what does that really mean for you and me? What does that even mean? Well, let's break it down. Basically, countries held most of their reserves in US dollars. This made the dollar a cornerstone of global trade and finance. It was seen as safe, stable, the equivalent of keeping your money under your mattress, except your mattress is the global financial system. Imagine that level of trust. But lately, things have been changing. The financial landscape is shifting and the dollar's dominance is being questioned. The dollar's dominance is slipping. It's not as invincible as it once seemed. It's like finding out Beyoncé is actually lip-syncing to a Nickelback track. Shocking, right? But why is this happening? So buckle up, because we're going on a wild ride through unsustainable debt, geopolitical power plays, and the rise of shiny new, and some might say better, alternatives. We'll explore how these factors are reshaping the financial world. Stick around, it's going to be interesting. We'll uncover the forces at play and what the future might hold for the almighty dollar. You won't want to miss this. Okay, let's talk numbers, people, because nothing screams financial instability like a bunch of scary statistics, right? Over the past 25 years, the dollar's share of global foreign exchange reserves has dropped significantly. We're talking a 15% decline. That's like losing 15% of your body weight, except instead of fat, it's global economic power. Not a good look. Experts are even predicting the dollar could lose its reserve currency status entirely within the next decade. That's right, folks, 10 years. We're talking about a seismic shift in the global financial system. Imagine the tectonic plates of money shifting under our feet. Terrifying, right? So what's causing this dramatic decline? Well, there are a few culprits. Let's dive into the first one, debt, and not the sexy kind. The US has a bit of a spending problem. Okay, that's an understatement. It's more like a spending addiction. The US national debt is through the roof, folks. We're talking trillions upon trillions of dollars. If it were a stack of dollar bills, it would reach the moon and back. Twice, at least. This massive debt is making investors nervous, and rightfully so. It's like lending your friend who's always borrowing money and never paying it back a few $1,000s. You wouldn't do it, right? Well, countries are starting to feel the same way about the US. This unsustainable debt could lead to some pretty nasty consequences like inflation, hyperinflation, even default. And nobody wants that, except maybe doomsday preppers who've been stocking up on canned goods and ammunition. Here's the thing about being the top dog. You sometimes use your power for, shall we say, less than noble purposes. The United States, with its dominant currency, has often found itself in a position where it can exert significant influence over global affairs. This influence isn't always wielded with the purest of intentions. The US has a bit of a history of using the dollar as a weapon. This isn't just a recent phenomenon, it's been happening for decades. The dollar's strength and ubiquity give the US a unique leverage point that few other countries possess. Think of it like the schoolyard bully threatening to take your lunch money. But instead of lunch money, it's access to the global financial system, and instead of a schoolyard, it's the entire world stage. Take, for example, the freezing of Russian assets in 2022. This move was a direct response to geopolitical tensions and was intended to send a strong message. By freezing these assets, the US demonstrated its ability to control and restrict access to financial resources on a global scale. While intended to punish Russia, it also sent a clear message to the rest of the world. Cross us and we'll cut you off from the global financial system. This kind of financial warfare is a powerful tool, but it also comes with significant risks and repercussions. Not surprisingly, this kind of behavior has made other countries a little uneasy. Nations around the world are beginning to question the wisdom of relying so heavily on the US dollar. The fear of being cut off or sanctioned has led to a growing sense of vulnerability. They're starting to realize that relying too heavily on the dollar makes them vulnerable to US pressure. This realization is prompting many countries to explore alternatives, seeking ways to reduce their dependence on the dollar and protect their own financial sovereignty. And nobody likes being bullied, especially by a country with a spending problem. The US national debt continues to grow, raising concerns about the long-term stability of the dollar. This financial instability only adds to the unease felt by other nations. So what are they doing about it? Countries are beginning to form new alliances and partnerships, seeking to create a more balanced and multipolar financial system. These efforts are aimed at reducing the dominance of the dollar and creating a more resilient global economy. Well, that brings us to our next point, the shifting dynamics of global finance and the strategies countries are employing to navigate this complex landscape. Stay tuned as we delve deeper into these fascinating developments. The world is changing, folks. New powers are emerging, and the global financial landscape is shifting in ways we haven't seen before. China, Russia, India, Brazil, they're all banding together, forming alliances like BRICS. A catchy acronym, right? But it's more than just a name. It's a symbol of a new era in global cooperation and economic strategy. These countries are tired of the US calling the shots. For decades, the US dollar has been the world's dominant currency, giving America significant influence over global trade and finance. They're looking to create a more multipolar world, one where the dollar isn't the only game in town. Imagine a world where multiple currencies share the stage, each playing a crucial role in international trade. They're doing this by reducing their reliance on the dollar, a process often referred to as de-dollarization. This means they're finding new ways to conduct trade and finance without defaulting to the greenback, trading in their own currencies, which not only boosts their economic sovereignty, but also strengthens their own financial systems, and developing their own independent payment systems. These systems are designed to bypass traditional financial networks dominated by the US, giving these countries more control over their economic destinies. It's like breaking up with your controlling partner and vowing to never depend on anyone ever again. It's a bold move, but one that could reshape the global financial landscape, except, with countries and currencies. This isn't just a minor adjustment, it's a fundamental shift in how global finance operates. This shift away from the dollar is a big deal. It signals a move towards a more balanced and diversified global economy, where no single country holds all the cards. It's a sign that the world is moving towards a new financial order, one where the US is no longer the undisputed king of the hill. This new order could bring about more stability and fairness in global trade, benefiting countries that have long been on the periphery of economic power. But remember that friend with the spending problem? Well, let's say you're worried about lending them money. What's a safe bet? Something that's always held its value, something tangible, something like gold. Gold has been a store of value for centuries. It's like the granddaddy of safe haven assets. When everything else is going haywire, people flock to gold like it's the last helicopter out of a zombie apocalypse. Central banks are catching on too. They're hoarding gold at record levels. It's like they're building a giant shiny nest egg just in case the dollar goes belly up. And who can blame them? Gold is shiny, durable, and it's not about to be replaced by some fancy new cryptocurrency. Speaking of which, while gold is great and all, there's a new kid on the block: central bank digital currencies, or CBDCs for short. Think of them like digital versions of traditional currencies, but issued and backed by central banks. CBDCs have the potential to revolutionize finance. They could make cross-border payments faster, cheaper, and more efficient. Plus, they could reduce reliance on US-controlled systems like SWIFT, which is basically the plumbing of the global financial system. Now, some people are worried about the implications of CBDCs. Privacy concerns, government control, the whole 9 yards. But one thing's for sure, CBDCs are here to stay, and they're going to play a major role in the future of finance. Okay, so all this talk of financial doom and gloom is probably making you sweat a little, but don't panic. There are things you can do to protect yourself. First, diversify your assets. Don't put all your eggs in one basket, especially if that basket is the US dollar. Invest in tangible assets like gold and silver. Consider cryptocurrencies, but do your research. It's a jungle out there. Second, stay informed. Follow global financial trends. Read articles. Listen to podcasts. Just kidding. Don't listen to podcasts. Unless it's this show, obviously. Finally, plan for the future. The dollar's decline is a marathon, not a sprint. Prepare for a world with a less dominant dollar. Think long term. And maybe stock up on some canned goods just in case. So, there you have it, folks. The US dollar is facing some serious challenges. Debt, geopolitical tensions, the rise of alternatives. It's a perfect storm brewing in the world of finance. But hey, at least it's not boring, right? The future of finance is uncertain, but one thing's for sure, it's going to be an interesting ride. So buckle up, stay informed, and maybe invest in some gold. You know, just in case. And that's our show. See you next week when we'll be discussing the impending robot uprising. Spoiler alert, it involves killer drones and a surprising amount of interpretive dance. Don't miss it.
So hit that subscribe button, ring the bell for notifications, and let's turn the page on a new adventure together. Get ready to experience books like never before, only on VBook 360. Like, comment, and share to support the channel and keep the video magic alive. Thank you for stopping by. And remember, every video has a story, and every story deserves to be shared. See you in the next video.